Okay, so we'll walk, unless there's anything else, we just walk through to the smaller gallery, the back projection gallery. Okay, it's Peter McGuinness's gallery.
And hear Brendan talk about his...
Yeah, I'd like to ask Brendan, because I was quite impressed when I first saw the work. I didn't even I remember asking you, where'd you get you told me it was a jigsaw, and I couldn't even, it took me a while to actually look through the text which you've created over a jigsaw, traditional kind of jigsaw. Do you want to talk about the work?
Oh, yeah, well these works are, I've looked at the Act and read through the Act, the Northern Territory National Emergency Response Act.
Yep.
So all the text that you find here is from that.
Okay, so you've got the actual logo, the Commonwealth
That's
logo.
the header of the Act.
Yeah. Okay, and you've just copied it off the website?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The background image is a part of the Finke River, which is part of a community which has been prescribed, the 73 communities that have been prescribed under the intervention. And all this text relates to the Finke community, the land there. Right. Which is owned by an organisation, an Aboriginal organisation, and in the Act they had to put in a few special subsections to cover the prescription of this land because of the ownership of it. So basically this text are the subsections that are taken out of the Act, which cover the land for the Finke community. And basically it's a roundabout way of saying, if you read through it, that this land is being prescribed. It's got all these things. You might want to read through it, but it's got all these things saying, well, this land's, it's owned by such and such an organisation, blah, blah, blah. It's got all these opportunities where you might go, oh, well, this part isn't going to be taken by the intervention, but in the end it's got this note down the bottom saying, this subsection does not apply to leases of blah, 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 Finke, and blah, 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 there's three. So it gives all these hope, and then goes, no.
Okay. and it's great. You've taken the actual business card that.
This is a mock-up on the basics card, which all Aboriginal people in the 73 communities in Northern Territory.
Tell us what they can or cannot buy with the
If they're on welfare, and most of them are on welfare because they've taken away the employment programs and there's very little infrastructure out there. The government's taken away all its assets, so things like lawnmowers or utes or buildings or fences. They've gone in there and taken it away so that the Aboriginal communities can't use those things in their daily lives, which they were using. But yeah, this is the card that half of your welfare benefits goes onto, and you can only spend it at certain shops on certain items.
Right.
The other half of the money that you get from welfare you can spend as usual. But I've looked through, and this is all from the Centrelink website, and this is an initiative that a welfare measure that's going to be rolled out across the nation. So Peter, maybe one day you'll have your own basics card.
It could happen.
But I looked through a list, and there's a list that goes for about 40 pages of all these shops nationwide where you can use the basics card.
Okay.
And why would they have so many across Australia?
Right.
I can't imagine many Northern Territory people coming to Kmart Marrickville, but it's on the list, and I've done a mock-up of the card. I'm going to Centrelink next week. I'm going to see if I can get myself a basics card.
I believe you can, if you really want to.
At the moment, it's voluntary in Western Australia.
So you can.
It's compulsory in Northern Territory. But as early as March, they're talking about rolling it out across the nation. So.
And sadly, Tina was telling me on the opening night, this prevented two of the artists being able to raise the money to fly down and be part of the opening.
Well, being on the basics card made it impractical and more difficult to be able to pull together the funds to get an airline ticket at short notice.
Apparently, I was told you had to apply to Centrelink for an airfare, and which would involve time. possibly, but mainly the money thing, I think, where people have always traditionally shared cars, pooled, you know, here's $20, you know, back and $20. But that no longer, that way of life, of sharing, whether it be food or whatever, has been changed, you know, as well, because it's no longer, it's difficult to do that now, so therefore getting an airfare together is also difficult, which is sad.
Well, thanks very much. I might just have a quick whip around. This is
this one I think is hilarious, Philip Ricketson.
Well, tell me why.
Well, I just went to his house and he is a rock star, lead singer of a band called the Hoo-Ha's. And I didn't realise I'm quite a prolific painter. Paints all the time.
Always in a very naive style.
In this kind of kooky, naive style. He'd been doing kangaroos for years and invited me over for a cup of tea, and I walked in and saw this painting and just thought it was fantastic. Made me laugh.
Cool.
Just thought it was light.
And this is a
documentary by Austin McKell. He's gone into a community in the Northern Territory and put together a documentary interviewing.
$10,000.
Oh, I met him at the talk.
It's quite a comprehensive sort of overview of the intervention.
In this remote location.
So it's a great documentary to have a look at if you don't know much about it.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And interviewing people like this guy. And
he was the first person to contact us too.
Okay, this Austin McKell.
For instance, like my community.org,
It was great to hear people who are affected directly talk about it. And a lot of them didn't want to really make much trouble, but the more that they told the story, you know, like this guy, you know, he was just very. Austin really kind of engaged with them, and finally they told the whole story.
When Austin first rang me, he said, "Look, I'm not an artist, and it's not art, but I've got all this great footage." And I said, "Fantastic, we want it. Whatever you've got, let's just get it." Because I thought, no matter what, I wanted to sort of try and have mixed media, like little movies, installation, documentary, paintings, photography, and mix it all up. Like, it's really exciting to have prominent leading artists like Adam Hill and Gordon Siren, also with people like
people you wouldn't expect or didn't
Austin
know.
McKell, you know.
Well, congratulations, Tina. You've done a great job. The opening was the most number of people I've ever seen at the Vanishing Point. We had a welcoming ceremony. Adam Hill did a dance with a friend of his. It was just so cool and very moving. So, congratulations, Tina McCarthy.
Thanks so much.
Well
Thanks,
done.
Peter.
No worries. Okay, bye-bye.